Hello and welcome to another edition of Conspirator Brock's Pull List. This is my pull list for the week of February 26th, 2020. Decent amount this week, considering it's the last week of the month. Everything kind of got crammed in the end, so decent sized week, so be on the lookout for that. First up, let me move something real quick. First up, we have Action Comics number 1020. This is the variant cover because I can't stand John Romita Jr. art. So I've been getting the variants on these. John Romita Jr.'s art makes it very hard to read Action Comics. Much like what happened when Johns was writing a story and J.R. was penning it back in the New 52. The story was but the art made it even worse. So I don't know if going back and rereading the story is going to make any difference, but woof, those J.R. action issues right now are, I'm going to get through them. Next up, we have Amethyst Princess of Gemworld, the number one, the dollar issue. I snagged this up for two reasons. One, for my daughter, and two, because I'm curious about early Amethyst stuff, considering she's in Young Justice. And I really enjoyed the New 52 series that they put out with Sword of Amethyst. That was really good. Not to mention that we have a new Amethyst number one. Amy Reeder is doing... Yep, Amy Reeder is doing the whole thing, so I'm really curious to see what she has in store for the Princess of Gemworld. So yeah, really curious, but good time to kind of look at the old stuff and see what's going on with the new. Next up, we have Basket Full of Heads number 5. I've enjoyed Basket Full of Heads so far. It's really interesting. It's weird. There's an axe, or like a Viking axe, and heads being decapitated that end up talking. So, yeah, but good stuff. Next up, we have Batman Curse of the White Knight, Book 7. I'm actually behind on this series, but Sean Murphy's done a fantastic job with this universe, Batman universe that he's created, and I really enjoy it, so I'm really kind of excited to sit down and read a handful of issues all at once. But yeah, it's good stuff. Next up, we have a Batman Superman at number 7, and we're moving on from the Batman Who Laughs and on to Ra's al Ghul and Zod. Two of the big baddies for each, and we'll see what that entails going forward. Next up, we have Crisis on Infinite Earths Giant number 2. I have not yet been able to read the first one, so apparently it ties in with the stuff from the CW show, so we'll see. But I definitely enjoyed Crisis on Infinite Earths on the CW show, and Crisis on Infinite Earths is an amazing story anyway, and you should definitely check it out. Next up, we have Detective Comics number 1020. Yes, Detective is caught up with Action, but Detective will surpass Action if it keeps going on double shipping, and Action stays at single month shipping. So we'll see. But I've been enjoying Detective. What can I say? Tomasi's done a fantastic job of picking up the reins since 1,000, or just before 1,000, and going through. So really great stuff. You should be checking it out. Next up, we have Dial H for Hero number 12. This might be the last issue, I'm not sure, but I've been enjoying Dial H. It's fun, it's quirky, there's a lot of weird characters in it. Should send speculators to the stores to get it, but it doesn't because they're just rando characters. But yeah, who knows. Next up, we have Far Sector number 4. I've been enjoying it. It's okay. The first issue really knocked it out of the park for me. Issue 2 and 3 were kind of eh. We'll see where it goes from there. But so far, it's overall enjoyable. If you do like N.K. Jemisin's, I'm probably butchering it, but writing, then you might want to check out her dive into comic books with Far Sector. Next up is a facsimile edition, and that's of issue 123 of The Flash, the infamous Flash of Two Worlds issue. This issue, as well as something later on in the pull list this week, is going to feature this. So, but yeah, if you were ever curious about this issue and wanting to read it and check it out, it is available as a facsimile edition today. Next up is another dollar comic, and that is the Flash number 1. This is, of course, I think the 80s series Flash that got really, renumbered number 1, I believe, after Crisis. So this is a post-Crisis Flash number 1. I've never actually read it. I'm actually curious to check it out. A lot of the dollar books and facsimiles I pick up are issues that I want to check out or I've been interested in looking at over the years, and got two facsimile of Flash and a dollar of Flash this week. So if you're a Flash fan, it's definitely a week for you. Next up, we have Justice League Dark, number 20. And Animal Man is coming back, baby. I am super stoked to check out this issue. Tyrion the Fourth has done a fantastic job on Justice League Dark. And man, he's bringing in Animal Man and the Rot and all that stuff. Ooh, I can't wait. It's good stuff. If you haven't checked out Animal Man, you definitely need to go and read Jeff Lemire's New 52 Animal Man run. It's fantastic. And if you like that, you'll love Swamp Thing. And if you like that, you'll love Justice League Dark from the New 52. So there's tons of stuff to check out that you probably like if you are curious about Animal Man and Justice League Dark. Next up, we have Last God, Book 1 of the Fellspire Chronicles, Chapter 5. So it's issue 5. I'm not too sure what I think of this title. It's interesting. The art is amazing, but it feels weird to me. I can't exactly put my finger on it or why it feels weird. So I'm probably going to finish out at least the first part of it. And then it's probably just something I'm just going to just get rid of because I don't know. It's just not grabbing me like I thought it would. It was great that DC is trying something new with it. It's fantasy stuff, so it may be for some people, but it's just not snagging my attention like I thought it would. So we'll see. So issue 6 might be my last one. Next up, we have one for my daughter, and that's The Little Mermaid number 3. What? She can read it when she wants. Okay. Next up, we have I don't know if this is an ongoing, or a mini. But we are getting Leviathan Dawn. So we're going to check out what's going on apparently with Leviathan and all that stuff. So we'll see, kind of maybe explore more of who Leviathan is. For those of you that don't know, the Leviathan turned out to be the original Manhunter, which was, spoiler, sorry, which is Mark, I can't remember his last name. But Manhunter's coming back. The female one, written by... Andrenko, Mark Andrenko. So I'm super excited for that. But yeah, we'll see what happens with Leviathan in this. Next up, we have Red Hood Outlaw number 43. I don't know. The Outlaws are kind of back, so I don't know why we haven't gone back to Red Hood and the Outlaws yet. That's what the book technically is called. But we'll see. But I've been enjoying it for the most part. It's definitely one of those books like, if it's something I absolutely had to chop, I would. It's down at the bottom, but it's not bad. Next up, we have Donny Cates' book that I read, and that's Redneck, number 26. This is continuing the part 2 of the Tall Tales story arc. I don't even know if I got issue 25 of this. I have to go back and check. There was a period of time where some of the books that we were getting were being shorted or damaged, and I did not actually get my copies, so I'll have to go and check to see if I have a Redneck number 25, because I don't remember reading it. It's been a while. Next up is Shazam number 11. Now, something happens in this book at the end that pisses me off, yeah, I'll spoil it for you. Sorry. It's Superboy Prime is apparently back, and oh god, I hate that character. So we'll see if Johns can make me at least stomach dealing with that, seeing that character back. But I've enjoyed Shazam so far, so fingers crossed it keeps being good. Next up is Suicide Squad number 3. I haven't even read 2. 1 was cool. I'm just so far behind. Again, reading novels has kind of taken over my reading log lately, and I'm just kind of randomly here and there been reading single issues of comics. So yeah, so hopefully I'll be able to get caught up fairly soon. But yeah, who knows. Next up is another giant, and that's the Swamp Thing giant in number 3. Yes, there's 3 Swamp Thing giants. I'm in it mainly for the new material. So because I love Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing's a great character. So we'll see what happens there. Next up is Wonder Woman number 752. I have not even yet read 750, so I need to get caught up. Yeah, we'll see if Orlando does a decent job of it. And last but not least, this is the hot book this week, and that is You're the Villain, Hell Arisen number 3. Now, some of you might be wondering why this is the hot book, and I'll let you know why it's the hot book. Apparently, Joker's new girlfriend is first appearance is in here, or people are saying no, it's a second cameo, but people are saying it's a first appearance. There's going to be some debate about that. But yeah, if you didn't pay attention last week to Batman 89 coming out, where there was a single panel cameo appearance of her at the end. So this is a hot book. It's probably sold out or going for a shit ton of money. And if your store actually has copies and they're selling them for over cover price, your store is a dick. So yeah. But yeah. I did pick up some variants this week. The first one was for Batman Curse of the White Knight Book 7. And of course, I love this one because it's a Harley Quinn variant. So I definitely had to snag that one up there. Detective Comics number 1020 had a pretty cool variant, so I picked that one up as well. Red Hood Outlaw 43 had a pretty cool variant as well, so I snagged that one up. I like the Shane Davis is a good artist, and I like his art, so I picked up the Shazam 11 variant. Of course, I'm a sucker for Suicide Squad, so I got the Suicide Squad number 3 variant. And of course, there was the amazing Jenny Friesen Wonder Woman 752 variant, so I snagged that one up as well. I did grab a couple things for reading this week, and those are X-Men number 7. It's behind, but it's give or take whether or not I'm enjoying it. And then there's X-Force number 8. So yeah, both of these are really the only 2 Marvel titles I am currently reading. So yeah, it's not that House and Powers did an amazing job, but the stuff coming after it just hasn't resonated as strongly as those 2 books did. I did pick up some graphic novels this week. The first one is the graphic novel for kids, the old DC Zoom label, and that's Batman Overdrive. It's basically kind of a story about Bruce and him cranking on cars and making the Batmobile. So yeah, Overdrive. So hopefully I'll get to check that out, and my son will check it out. And last on my graphic novel pickup is the Flash of Two Worlds Deluxe Edition. So there is a Deluxe Edition of that facsimile edition that I showed you earlier of issue 123 of Flash out there. This basically is the classic tale of the two, and but this one also includes a introductory text by Johns and Paul Levitz. So mainly I'm kind of picking it up for that. But yeah, really solid kind of deluxe edition for just an issue that kind of defines Flash and kind of defines the DC universe, and it's very pivotal in the history of the DC universe. So yeah, so I'm really excited to dive into it. And if you're not wanting to spend $30 on something, the facsimile edition is out there for $4. So that's out this week. There's a couple other things that are out, or one more thing that's out this week, and that is the March 20 previews for issue 378 for stuff going on sale in May. And that's right, baby. We got Death Metal on there from Scott Snyder, the continuation of the metal stuff. Yep, so this is the previews catalog. There's going to be a ton of stuff in here. I have not yet gotten a chance to look through it, but this is how you pre-order your stuff. This is most of the publishers except for Marvel and DC. Marvel has their own previews catalog here, and you'll see Empire is the big thing that's going on, and of course DC previews has Death Metal on there, and the Batman The Adventures continues in the animated series, so I'm really curious to see what goes on with that, with new stories from Paul Dini. Really cool and exciting stuff there. So I can't wait to dive into previews and see what I'm going to be spending my money on. Yeah, I spend a lot. Well, I work for it as credit, but shh, don't tell anybody. There is a freebie this week out there. It's kind of an image promotion thing. It's this little like roadmap thing with Undiscovered Country. It's got kind of this stuff on the back, but it's supposed to just kind of, you open it up and it gives you little things here and there, but if you open it up completely, it gives you some like a tour of Image Comics or something. So interesting little like kind of flyer thing for you to check out if you're curious about Image or stuff going, the roadmap to, what's going on with Image this year. There's a few more things I wanted to show you. I did pick up, we finally got in a copy that wasn't beat to shit. And that is a softcover copy of Once Crowded Sky, Tom King's novel that he wrote. So I'm really curious to check this out and read it. But yeah, it is by our Mr. Miracle guy, Tom King there. So Once in Future Sky. Talk about the book reading. Yeah, this is the problem. So I'm going to check that one out. Leanne Hill, Ryan Higgins, the owner of Comics Conspiracy's wife, has done a handful of new prints from the Birds of Prey movie. And of course, I'm a sucker for Harley. So I picked up the two recent ones she's done. One of them is Harley giving Bruce, not Bud or Lou, Bruce, a little kiss on the nose. And she's got that crazy coat on, but really kind of cool artsy style that we get from Leanne. And of course she did the Marilyn Monroe I think a 7-Year Itch dress, if I believe yours. I think that's it. I might be completely wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know. But yeah, that whole Marilyn Monroe sequence from Birds of Prey with Harley Quinn. So of course I snagged those up. You can go over to leannehillart.com and pick up one yourself, or go over to comicsconspiracy.biz. We sell them there at the on our online store. She has Baby Yoda, which is he's hiding up right here if you're curious. They pulled it from her Etsy page, but you can still order it if you want. I love Leanne's art. It's amazing. I have a handful of it framed for my kids. They love it too. So yeah, so if you like her art, go over to her website and support her there. That's it for this week's pull list. Like I said, a fair amount this week. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you want, you can. If you want to listen to a little bit more of me talking about comics, you can go check out the Comics Conspiracy podcast. We just finished recording episode 442, where we talk about the Dan DiDio firing. Yes, Dan DiDio was let go from DC Comics this past Friday, and kind of a mixed bag of reaction to it. A lot of creators were kind of sad to see him go, but other people were not, but they weren't being, yeah, so who knows what's going on. Everyone's like, DC's in free fall, and oh my god, it's horrible, it's over, it's the end of DC, and blah. It's not. Don't read those garbage websites. Stuff's still coming out the same. People are still working at DC. It's not the end of the world because Dan DiDio left. Personally, the guy did an amazing job and was behind some cool stuff for DC, but I can understand, with some of the stuff that goes on, why he was let go. There is a Comics Beat article by Heidi McDonald that I highly recommend you reading if you're curious about that. But you can also listen to us talk about it at length on episode 442 of the Comics Conspiracy podcast. So yeah, there's a link in the description below for that, and I'll link for the Heidi article as well. Thank you for, you can help me and my fellow conspirators out through Patreon at www.patreon.com/comicsconspiracy. For as little as $1 a month, you help us with hosting fees, getting food sometimes, and yes, getting products. So thank you very much to our Patreon backers. It helps out immensely, and it is much, much appreciated. You can help me out a little more directly by purchasing anything through an Amazon, anything on here or my website, conspiratorbrock.com. That's an Amazon link. Click on it, you buy something, I get a little cut. Thank you very much for those who do it. Or you can head over to my eBay page, see what I'm getting rid of, and that helps me out as well when people buy stuff from there. So thank you to everyone who is supportive and everyone who likes the channel, all that. I was on vacation last week. I went to Escalon with my kids so they could see their aunt and play with their cousins. They had a great time. I had a relaxing time. I still got a video up for you guys, but I just didn't really do anything. I vegged because I knew this week was going to be a kind of busy week, and there's some stuff I got to work through, and so I had to get that started today. So I'll fill you in once I feel I can fill you in on that stuff. Yeah, just keep the content coming for you guys. I know I need to get some unboxing videos up. They're over here. I need to do them, but with the move, I just haven't really solidified how I want to do them yet. But I just need to kind of just hunker down and get you guys those unboxing videos. So yeah, any questions, feel free to leave in the comment section below. Be nice, don't be a jerk. Online is already a crappy place. But yeah, let me know what you picked up. Let me know what you're interested in reading. If you're curious about something, I know a lot of people are curious about my wall of trades behind me. It is, yes, it's this, it goes up and it goes down. Maybe one day I'll do a video of like my little area that I have in my corner here for you guys, but we'll see. But yeah, Comment section is a great place for, you know, get a, like, just let me know what's going on, like, or a question or something. Yeah. You can follow me on Twitter. My handle's @BrockSager. And that's pretty much it. It's been a long day. I still got to get this up for you guys. I hope you guys have a great week. And February is almost over. We're heading into March. So, yeah. So, guess what? I'll see you next week.